We've kept workers with them. When we reopen the economy is going to bounce back significantly.
The Washington Post reported yesterday that the intelligence community was giving the White House warnings back in January and early February that the situation coming out of China was very, very serious and would likely end up in a pandemic. Were you over at the Treasury Department ever warned that something like this was coming down the pike? Because the initial White House reaction appeared to be, oh, don't worry, it's over there in China. I was told, why do we need to respond robustly because there's only 16 cases here? Were you ever warned early on by the intelligence community that this was coming?
You know, I want to be careful talking about specific intelligence, but let me be clear, and this is not just in the U.S., this is around the world. Nobody expected this to take off at the rate it did. And even as you know, I've now been on the task force listening to the medical professionals for a long period of time. I said a few weeks ago, you know, I felt comfortable traveling on commercial airfare. I did. The situation has changed very quickly, and the president has responded to that. You know, as we saw the spread here, we shut down airline travel abroad with Europe. That was a very important move. And as we've seen states, we've been working with the states in recommending this. So I don't think anybody should second guess the government actions. This has been moving very quickly, and I think we've responded appropriately.
The Defense Production Act, the president basically activated it, but he hasn't yet put it into practice. But we have states like Michigan and so many others, and we're going to talk to the governor of Michigan coming up a little bit later, who are in desperate need of medical supplies. General Motors is volunteering to make ventilators, but does the president need to pull the trigger on the Defense Production Act and say, industry, get out there and make this equipment because we're running behind, this is only going to get worse before it gets better, and we need you to step up to the plate now?
Well, I know the task force is very focused on supply chains. Quite frankly, I'm full-time focused right now on the economic side of this. We have other people working on the supply chains, but I have every confidence that the president has these powers. He's working with private industry, and we're expediting this as quickly as possible.
Just before we go, when do you expect a vote on this fiscal stimulus package?
Monday morning.
All right. Secretary Mnuchin, as always, thanks for your time, and see you at the White House tomorrow.